Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to round one of my very own RedEyes $450 PUBG Mobile Dead in May tournament qualifiers for Group C. Brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunman and Glacier Gaming, as well as Crafted in Lightspeed Studios. And we got, let's count them up, ladies and gentlemen, 3 rounds. That's right, 3 rounds of action, mayhem, and strategy coming your way today. But first and foremost, for those of you who aren't quite acquainted as to who I am, I'm RedEyes, your ever-lovable and adorably cuddly caster, bringing you that daily dosage of butt-kickery, tomfoolery, and all-around shenaniganism. And we have a stacked lobby for you today, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Excuse, Xillusion, The Lycans, The Rough Riders, Rising Legend, Brave, North America 16, Bope Esports. We got Nova Clan Esports, Team Aces, Zero Confidence, Divine, 3SG, 9 Cents, Wanted Vigilantes, 007, Growing Stronger, The Criminals, Silence, and The Sentinel. So I'm expecting nothing but action right off the bat. And you already know we're kicking it off with Aaron Gale. What do we need to say about Aaron Gale? Well, it's essentially the off-bred love child of Sandhawk and Miramar, because it is the perfect middle ground between those two extremes, which does leave it fairly reliant upon the flight path. Now, it is a little bit late in this start here, but we'll go ahead and just show it. Here is the flight path. Ooh, well, that was supposed to be the flight path as it currently stood. Apparently, I did not link the right thing. No worries, we're all good. But let's go over the format as it briefly stands. We got 20 teams competing, and of those 20 teams, 4 teams will advance, meaning that actually, you know, we used to do, 3 teams will advance from each qualifier previously, but now we have switched it up, doing 3 qualifiers, so 4 teams from each qualifier will advance to face off against the Tier 1 pros. But it looks like we might even have some action here right off the bat. Yeah, it does seem that we're getting a pretty close interaction here between the likes of Excuse and Sentinels. Let me go ahead and remove myself from the screen. And we see Bernard already ready and waiting with that UMP Car 9 combo. Not looking too great in terms of armor. He does have a level 2 vest, but not a helmet. And that could be problematic. And it does explain a lot of his hesitation here. But just to be sure I'm not going to be missing anything else on the map, we do have a couple other potential altercations. Yep, it does look like something's happening right now. Bope Esports putting in the work as Ophelia, Nicro, and Fuego get a takedown on a member of Growing Stronger. And that's going to be 2 kills already on the board for Bope Esports. And let's just see here, out of curiosity, just how far... Okay, so it's Odethan here is the only real threat here remaining to Bope Esports, but I thought that it was Growing Stronger that was being attacked. Turns out that's not the case. Odethan is actually just a ways away from his teammates, but either way, it does look like we see 007 Esports getting some takedowns in the distance, so we're going to just briefly switch on over, get a glimpse. We got QZ firing uphill, and it does look like he was dealing out some decent damage there to the Criminals. And there's the first thirst, and ooh, revenge served cold and fast, and that's our first knock on screen of the day. Luckily, we got B.O.B. himself, Bob, coming in to get that revive. Looks like 3SG might have been doing something off in the distance, as well as the Xillusion crew. We're going to go check in on Xillusion just to see. They did lose a member in the process. Clutch is out of the equation, and it looks like trouble is not yet over, as WTUS is just really quick to join him in that lobby. So it's down to Beast and Thirst of Xillusion here. But that one nade got 2 takedowns, I believe. Oh, man. That's a monster nade. 2 birds, 1 stone. All right. Well, he does seem a little bit hesitant about going to secure the thirst, and I can respect that because he is not aware of how many members of Team Aces are actually there. It turns out that it is just the 2 that he knocked, but he is unwittingly knowing that he's giving that opportunity to the opposition to come secure some of that distance that's in between them, close that gap a little. And yep, now we have the fight. Beast firing out. He does secure the knock on Junie, but ooh, the vehicle explosion to take him down. And that is going to leave everything reliant on Thirst and Thirst alone. Guys, thank you all so much for being here. It looks like 9 cents nading themselves while attacking members of Excuse off in the distance. And that is not going to fare well. While it does secure a knock on this fella, it is going to still leave Matt, Kai, and Bernard ready and waiting for this fight. And Matt's going to be securing that revive, leaving Kai and Bernard in charge of Overwatch and cover fire. All right, the standoff begins. And now it's just a battle of patience between these two teams. 9 cents understandably, or pardon me, this is Sentinels. Sentinels understandably playing a little bit hesitant here. With just Blank and Dark Light here to hold their ground. Oh, but what a nade onto Blank by Matt! That was a bonkers impressive nade. But here we see Kai trying to secure it with the UMP, but unfortunately for him, taken down instead. Luckily, he does have his teammates there to secure and finish what he started. That was an impressive nade, though. Just to make sure I'm not missing anything, that does leave us with a little bit of open space. Now, open space is to be expected on large maps. Large maps are going to be 2 out of the 3 that we're working with today, so we are going to have some moments of downtime, some pockets of silence, but that's to be expected. So while we have just one brief moment, I'm going to once again go over the format as it currently stands, because I didn't do the best job that last time around in my description. So, we have 20 teams competing, ladies and gentlemen, and of those 20 teams, 4 actually advanced because we have reduced the number of qualifiers from 3 to 4, or 4 to 3. So now we have 12 qualified teams, and they're going to be joining the 6 to 8 invited Tier 1 professional teams, where they're all going to duke it out at the finals day after tomorrow for that $450 prize pool. That's a $400 first place winner-take-all, basically, prize, along with a $50 top frag reward. Now, here we have it. It does look like the wanted vigilantes are going to be facing off right here and now against Nova Clan. And anyone who knows about the Tier 1 scene knows that wanted vigilantes are not to be taken lightly. And, ooh, but Fishy being fired upon is knocked right out of the vehicle. That's going to leave it up to Poppy Sour, Anders, and Illusion. All right. Shots have been put outbound. And here we have it. That UMP from Poppy Sour was just easy pickings. With Fishy down, Poppy Sour, Honors, and Illusion still carry the weight, and Poppy firing through the smoke with a little spray and pray tactic, getting some serious damage in there, and nicely done. Illusion able to finish the work that he started. And that is some quick takedowns, bringing the wanted vigilantes already up to 8 kills, and they're going to carry forward as a full 4-piece, very likely. Just to make sure. Yep, that does seem to be the immediate attention grabber here on the map, at least currently. But we could be getting some action not too far off, and that would be between the likes of Growing Stronger and members of the Rough Riders on opposite ends of this bridge here. And now, you know, it does get me a little bit curious about what's going to happen on... Oh, pardon me. What's going to be happening on the other end of the bridge, though. Yeah, it does look like one of Vigilantes might be facing off here. It would be between members of 3SG. Okay, yeah. It would be 3SG and members of Brave. And, oop, we hear Fishy being fired at, potentially. Quickly trying to rejoin his teammates, fall back and get a little bit more secure positioning with some allies, understandably so. One of Vigilantes not taking really... any chances here. They're not going to be leaving a lot of things up for standards of luck. Now, that's not to say that they are not going to be on the all-out aggressive. As you can see, they are not afraid to take on any fight here. All right, well, we got members of 9 cents getting ready to have an altercation as we speak against the criminals, and that's a knock, I believe, on 1v99? Potentially. No, he's low, but there's the knock right there and then. Sorry about that highlighter, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we got monkeys coming up to do some work here on KZZ. He's cooking up an egg. Gonna try to make it rain a little bit of hellfire inside. Ooh, but wow, ZZ with some pretty good predictions there. That's gonna leave it up to Snipe to finish the job. Oh wait, no aim was also taken down. So it is on Snipe to finish this. He does have the health advantage, and there it is. Able to secure the knock / thirst and be available to revive monkeys. That is going to leave No Aim still slightly vulnerable, but it looks like Noob is already there and attending to him. I'm going to switch my attention briefly once again to one of Vigilantes, just because they're doing so much work here on the board. But we have a couple other altercations potentially brewing up, one of which would be the likes of Divine nearby 007. All right. Well, oh, we do have action. I heard those shots, but that is not going to be as intense as members of the Lycans in this altercation with members of 3SG. Now, it does look like there's actually going to be a little bit more space there. It always happens with any Team 15 icon. So dark, it blends in. But we're going to switch our attention briefly over to NA16. This is North America 16. They're facing off against members of Divine. Yep, and it does look like they have a knock on Core. However, it's not without a cost. Mo and Dreamer are also knocked, leaving top A as the last hope here for his team. And he is going to have to weigh the options and bow out, dip out of dodge, and try to secure some decent placement points for the team. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, the point structure has evolved to reflect the PMPL professional scoring structure. Having said that, eliminations are going to be the top priority here as we move forward into the future of PUBG Mobile esports, which means that placement is going to be given less emphasis, meaning that heal strap may not be the ticket these days. However, it is not to discredit the importance of placement. There is definitely still a good reason for trying to stay alive come in-game, even if you are just a solo with no kills. Placement points can be the difference maker between advancing and not advancing. Alright, well, it does look like the Rough Riders have a nice gatekeep on 9 cents. All right here. Well, Rough Riders just pulling a nice little flank rotation, every man for himself vehicle strat, but the Lycans being approached by 3SG, and here it happens. We see Hope and Moon taking damage. Hope is already knocked. Moon reduced down to just above half health. Gonna be trying to enshroud his teammates in a cloud of smoke while the revive is secured by Sun, which means Kevin, yep, Kevin is the most like to be in charge of Overwatch here. Putting the shots outward towards Nori, getting a few hits of damage in there, not a lot. And Hope trying to retreat to a position of security here while Sun could put some shots out there. Moon really does need to heal though, but not before getting that knock on Skur. Well, that's confidence for you, ladies and gentlemen. That is a fast swing on a second serve in tennis. But goodness knows it paid off for him. All right, well, we're here in Hope being reduced down in health yet again, taking such a load of damage, but lucky to be alive. And the sun has not yet set, ladies and gentlemen. Putting the shots outward. Oop, it looks like Excuse facing off in the distance as well. 3SG does get the takedown on Hope, as we noted. Kevin is able to heal up. But this standoff still continuing, and Moon going for it with the vehicle. What a risky and aggressive play. All the while, 3SG having some trouble off in the distance. Kevin keeping the shots outward. Securing the thirst when he can. All right, sounds like members of the opposition here, 3SG, on the other end, still not out of the equation. They still have Zendry trying to dip out of dodge, as he probably should at this stage. Well, we're going to switch our attention briefly to top A, the last hope for the North American 16. I believe he's actually got, he's got a member of one of Vigilantes right by him. However, not quite as close as I originally thought there. But we're going to switch back to Divine. Still a full four-piece team. However, half their members are knocked, but they are able to secure the finish there on whoever they were facing off against, giving them their first 4 kills of the game here. Actually, I believe that's their 3rd and 4th kill of the game. Switching my attention back down to Fishy of one of Vigilantes. He's just holding the standoff. Oh, you know what? There's still more attention to be had here up northbound. Kevin and Moon splitting on up here. Looks like Brave hanging out in the dead zone, still in hopes of gatekeeping members of Team Aces. Whether or not that's going to actually amount to anything just yet is yet to be seen. But time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to switch my attention again to another solo, this time of Odithan from Growing Stronger. As members of Excuse drive by, this would be, in my opinion, a terribly fatal error for Odithan to fire away at. But what a hiding spot here. Position in the bushes. And he's got that sick new outfit. The crimson one. Here we go. It sounds like he's been spotted. All right. Huh. I'm not really sure. I'm guessing his outfit must have stuck out there. But one thing I know is that Excuse is a long-standing team in the PUBG Mobile Tier 2 bracket, and definitely has a credible reputation. So I'm not too suspicious of any cheating going on there, but we'll have my staff look at it just to be safe. Oh, Poppy Sour taken down! It's all on Fishy now. Fishy and Anders. Anders firing away, but taken down as well. Fishy's the last hope. And ironically enough, that fish is by the water side, getting ready to swim. And out of the frying pan into the fire, so to speak, because he is swimming away from members of Divine, but getting closer and closer to Excuse. He's not even swimming. I get it. You get what I mean. Oh, the nades being thrown outbound at Fishy. He does get the takedown on Bernard, though. Can he secure this now 1v3? All right, we're hearing other shots in the distance, but I think... Oh my gosh! The nade on Bernard was beautiful there. And look at this. Swimming in air. This is a glitch I have not yet seen before, but it happens. I guess. Okay. This is, okay, there we go. That was still funny, though. All right, well, we got to get out of here. It does look like Divine is going to be focusing in. Oh, boy, Fishy is in trouble. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. In trouble, but not out until he's out. And the caster curse. All right. Well, more shots being put outward by Divine. Not really reaching anyone here at Excuse. But at least they're getting kind of closer now. All right. Well, what else is happening on the playing field? Tell you what, we're going to go ahead and just pull up the side map. Well, maybe not. All right. Oh, 3SG going off in the distance. We're going to catch eyes. 3SG, 3SG, 3SG is out, maybe? 15. Oh, nope. It's down to their last member, Zendry. And Zendry is out before I can get off of the bar. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, but keep in mind I am running all the production end on my own here, so it is what it is. All right, well, Team Ace is getting a takedown in the distance, but no time to waste as the final hope for Rough Riders, Danger. It's not his middle name, it's his first, and he is putting the star bullets outward, not getting a single lick of connecting damage there. But that is that. It was a valiant effort, but it is not enough. But the kill ultimately goes to Excuse. Well, there is one more Rough Rider remaining. I stand corrected, and that's going to be Main Player. Interesting name. All right. Well, Divine facing off against 9 Cents. We see trying to get a little further away from, I believe, Team Aces, and maybe even secure a thirst on the member of 9 Cents that was fallen. But no, it is not going to happen. It is night time for him, and that's going to leave everything down to the final hope of Divine, Mr. Core himself, as he lays low, trying to let members of 9 Cents drive around, but they are not going to let the heat off of Shush very likely. They are going to secure that positioning on the hill, but in doing so, it looks like Core might have caught a breath of fresh air. While it does mean his teammate Shush gets thirsted, that was likely going to happen regardless. But members of Team Aces are certainly taking the pressure off of him, at least for a moment, maybe even giving him an opportunity to boost up or something. Well, no time to really waste. We'll see if we can get eyes on Core before anything happens. Oh, another fight has happened. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Divine all the way up to 10 kills, and Core going to try to make it 11 here, and he does. Oh! I take that back. He had another takedown in the distance, but the kill that we just saw was actually third-partied and stolen from him. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we are down to our final 4 teams here, spread across 7 people. It's going to be Excuse versus Rising Legend. Oh, wow. Hold on. There's 4 teams here. Rising Legend, the Rough Riders, Excuse, and Team Aces. We got ourselves a 3v2v1v1 to end our first of 3 rounds. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. Here we go. We got Frags pushing over towards PX18, and he does get the finish, and he got go-to! Here he goes, though, out of the frying pan into the fire. Essentially, just like sharks in the water, members of Excuse heard the sounds of the bullets, smelled the blood in the water, and they're coming to finish off what remains of our boy Frags. Can he pull this off? Ultimately, it is not gonna happen, and that has got to be, any way you look at it, that's got to be game over, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let me get myself on the screen. We have got to give it up, though. Excuse, what a performance on their end. Seriously, putting up 15 kills spread out amongst those 4 players. That is a team that is looking very well rehearsed and synergized, at least in pertinence to Erangel. Great job to them. Now let's look at the other end of the spectrum, but yet another successful tactic going to the boys in Rough Riders. It looks like only Main Player was able to put up any kills, only 2. But this team, rather in contradiction to Excuse, was more about playing things a little bit slower, playing it as a marathon, not a sprint, and trying to secure that in-game positioning before really focusing on eliminations. Now, that really kind of led all the pressure on Main Player, who was reduced to a solo in that last quarter of the match. We got Rising Legends taking that bronze medal 3rd place finish with 6 kills. Not bad. Team Aces in 4th place, but doing so with 11 kills between 3 of their players, 5 of which go to Go-To. We got Divine in 5th place, but with 11 kills as well. Some serious heavy hitters. We got the crew in 9 cents, grabbing 6th place with 2 kills from Snipe. 3SG in 7th with 1 kill from Alf. 8th place going to belong to 007 Esports. Oops. 8th place going to 007 Esports, and that's going to be with 3 kills. We got Brave in 9th with 1 kill from Hacks. The Wanted Vigilantes in 10th, but look at this. I mean, these guys were on the all-out aggressive. They say, like, if we're going to get an advancement to the finals, it's going to be on our terms. We're a tier 1 team, and this is our warm-up for bigger things, and I am all on board for it. They are on the all-out aggressive, not really prioritizing that in-game or placement. They're really looking for the confrontations, and I love it. They got 10th place, but were able to put up 11 kills before being eliminated. That's pretty impressive considering how far down the bracket they are there. The North America 16 in 11th place, but with a big onion for kills. We got the Lycans in 12th with 5 kills between Kevin and Sun. Growing stronger in 13th with 3. The Criminals in 14th, but with 0 kills to speak of. And keeping up with that trend, we got Nova Clan in 15th with 0. The Sentinels in 16th with 0. X-Illusion in 17th has 1. Both securing 18th as a 3-piece with 2 kills from Fuego. The Silence going to be taking 19th with 1 kill from Totizan. And lastly, 0 confidence in 20th and last place, kind of living up to that name there, unfortunately. But 0 kills. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we still have 2 more rounds ahead of us. Now, that was just round 1 of 3. That was Erangel. That's the map that our participants should be the most acquainted with. It was the first map ever introduced to the game, so it's the one that should be most practiced, most rehearsed, and most synergized. But I am curious about what's going to happen when we take things to that wide, open, dry, arid desert. I am, of course, speaking about Miramar as we return in just a few short moments for round 2 of 3 of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in May tournament qualifiers for Group C, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunman, Glacier Gaming, Crafton, and Lightspeed Studios. Stick around. We'll be back soon. All right. Now, before we do too much, I wanted to kind of get a couple things in order and get the code copy here. But it is that time, ladies and gentlemen. It is. We have some UC codes to be given away here. Now, each of these codes is going to be worth 600 UC. Now, how can you redeem it? I'm going to paste the links here first and foremost. Okay. All right, get that pin. All right, so tell you what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to step in, get in the room, get everything in order, and kind of come back at you so we have a little bit of time to reset so people aren't just sitting right by the computer waiting to paste in a code. But just be on standby, guys. We're going to be coming back at you in just a few, maybe like a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've been patient, you've been ready, and you've been waiting for it. So we are not going to be wasting any more time than I just did. Here is the code. Bam! Redeem this for 600 UC. Only one person is going to be able to redeem it. The link is pinned to the top of the chat feed on both YouTube and on Twitch. Now, first come, first serve, guys. But don't worry, we're giving away one of these every single match. CJPQZDLZPXM. All right. See you guys in just a few moments. Alrighty, welcome back, all you cutie patooties, to round 2 of 3 of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in May tournament qualifiers for Group C, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunman, Glacier Gaming, Crafton, and Lightspeed Studios. And we're kicking off round 2, as you guessed it, that dry, arid desert of Miramar. Now, what do we need to say about a map like Miramar? Essentially, oh my goodness, how did I do this again? Well, essentially, I'm going to fix this right now. Screw it. Essentially, it's the largest map. Technically, that's not true because Erangel is also an 8x8, but that really does rely on Erangel's bodies of water here and includes that quite a bit. So realistically, this is going to be the largest map that we're working with, meaning that the odds of two teams landing next to each other is just going to be a bit slimmer. But you have to remember, though, ladies and gentlemen, this is also the most open map that we have in the game. So that means that the odds of you being sniped from 300 meters away is just exponentially higher than any other map. So you need to be aware of not just your immediate, but your distant surroundings as well. And the third and final thing is that this map is so reliant upon the flight path to determine what sort of early game we actually end up getting, just due to its sheer size. Now, this looks to be like one of the most disgustingly ugly flight paths that our participants could possibly get. However, if you are familiar with, you know, my spiel, I say this quite a bit, but realistically, this is actually a decent flight path, and that only pertains towards Miramar, where this rule is in application. But the reason being is because this route from Campo Militar down to prison goes through 2 strings of cities, and if you'll notice, this path runs perpendicular to that, or parallel to that, so it's going to be, most of those cities and drop spots are still available on this path. Well, no time to waste. We're going to go ahead and switch over. We got some altercations growing stronger already in an altercation with one of Vigilantes. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, well, Poppy Sour got the takedown on Bad Dog, and it's a quick thirst to follow. Action Sir, however, able to get a retaliatory thirst somewhere in the mix, and now we got a member of Growing Stronger firing away with a Winchester, doing amazing damage to Spook, and Action Sir chasing him like a bat out of hell on a monster truck. And, ooh, just falling shy of the mark. This bowling pin moves. And look at that, Poppy Sour comes and steals it. I love it. What a great third-party attack. And look, it's also members of Rising Legend coming to the equation. But as much as I want to stay tuned in here, ladies and gentlemen, we have so many other things happening on the board, which is kind of surprising for this early of a game in Miramar of all maps. But here we have it. Divine, very close by their opponents in Nova Clan. And they're not alone. It seems like they also have both there. Oh, Draco just gets wrecked in the face. One shot, Winnie to the dome. And that's lights out for Draco. Oh, it looks like members of GC off in the distance having a bit of a little altercation. Not really sure who GC is, though. Core going to be securing the revive. Oh, it looks like Shush has been shushed yet again. Yasu coming to reunite with his fallen teammates and provide some assistance, but coming in pretty late to the party could be problematic here for him. Well, I'm going to go over to Team 11. This member, it was Alba is what I'll call him, who is almost there to get to the teammates. We got Onyx firing away, the last hope now for the Nova Clan, firing out with an Uzi Winnie combo, trying to secure a revive, all the while being inevitably pushed by members of Divine, and Yasu off in the distance, cooking up a utility. It's over. No, it's a bad nade. Overthrown, and Onyx with a great reaction time, but ultimately outmanned there, and still just very limited there with that Uzi. And, you know, great effort, though. Great effort on Onyx's end. Well, switching back once again to members of Rising Legend, it's down to Frags and LGN here. LG9, I guess. And they've got 2 members of Xillusion spread out on either side there. Not really sure if that's going to amount to a early fight or a standoff. And I could say it's a little bit of a coin flip on that. Just based on the positioning here, I'm going to say that GC, and given the circumstances of them being reduced down to half of their starting lineup, I wouldn't think that they would be trying for that altercation. But as I say it, Frags fires out and faces the consequences of doing so, immediately taken down in retaliation. All the while, Silence having at it in the distance, not being quite silent. We got Emperador being taken down as soon as I switch to him. And that's going to leave things riding on Dagus and Katana to provide the overwatch and cover fire, while In secures a revive. And Dagus does get the takedown. But look, it's not over yet. There's still a member of Team 16 up and about. It's going to be Noob waiting for the inevitable push, trying to implement that 300 strat, where he waits atop the staircase where quote-unquote numbers amount for nothing. They definitely amount for quite a lot. But here we go. Well, you can see the importance of utilities there. Those smokes, whether thrown by Noob or not, may have just saved his life, but ultimately the caster curse is the most real thing in PUBG Mobile. And yeah, this is what I meant about standoffs, you know. Even though Frags was knocked, that was an opportunity for Xillusion to close in on him. But Xillusion is fairly spread out, and this is a large map, so Thirst is actually further away from Glitch and W2 than it may even appear here. But we're going to go check in on the Lycans. They are getting closer and closer in proximity to members of the Criminals. Whether or not that's going to happen, yet to be seen. Hey, Ellen, how you doing? Wow, my voice got unforgivably high-pitched there. I'll be joining the boys' choir, I guess. Oh, looks like Moon facing off against members of the Criminals and having a tough go of it already. It looks like he's going to be thirsted. Yep, there it is. Criminals not losing a single member in the process. You know who is members of Rising Legends, getting another knock on one of them by Xillusion. Gonna put them in between a rock and a hard place, especially considering Thirst and W2S are closing in on him. Thirst actually hanging back a little to overwatch W2S, who's being a desert sand snake here. A desert cobra, if you will. Crawling forward ever so sneakily on his tummy. But I still think that that's close enough in proximity to be heard. Gotta do one thing. You guys are not gonna like it either. I have to get this fixed so I can get my cam working a lot better. I know. Just bear with me. E would be, and Q would be down. Save. All right, that's all I wanted. So let's see if that helped. It did not. Somehow it did not. Look at this. How is Thirst still hidden here? This is the boa strat, ladies and gentlemen. Xillusion is attempting something that's going to be a little bit difficult to implement here, but it's a term that I have coined, the boa strat. It is when you surround your opponents in a 1-3, 2-2, or 1-1-1-1 split and constrict simultaneously. Oh my gosh, Criminal is coming in for... Yeah, Thirst is spotted, I think. But essentially, they come in around the opposition and try to get in positioning first and foremost, and then constrict upon them, simultaneously providing the pressure from multiple angles. Now, this adds a nerves factor for the team being attacked, and so that usually leads to error, you know, so to speak. But not only that, they can't focus on shots coming from 3 different directions simultaneously if they're just 2 people. Well, Glitch is able to get the takedown, and they didn't actually end up getting that boa strat implemented, but it doesn't really matter there because they were able to get that takedown, and so that's going to leave it all down to this last remaining member of Mr. 9 here, and that is that. Xillusion now securing their first 2 kills of the match. Well, that should... Well, it should have left us with some downtime, but we have none of that. We've got Excuse Bernard right here in the mix with members of Growing Stronger, but even further, Growing Stronger also dealing with members of Brave. Bernard being the solo that he is in this position. Not sure how it's going to work out. Oh boy. And nice takedown with his last UMP bullet too. All right, another takedown. Bernard gets Odithan. With the odds stacked against him, Excuse Bernard just got a 2-piece. All right, well, no time to waste. Growing Stronger dealt a series of heavy blows there, back to back. What Excuse started, Brave finished. And because of that, you can count Growing Stronger out of the equation for match 2. Well, what about this little potential altercation between Silence and Bope? A 4v2, potentially. Yep, well, it's already happening. Ophelia with a UMP. Sorry, guys, it does take a while to render in. Oh, Roa coming in with that A huge assist, able to take the pressure off of Ophelia for just that brief moment, but that's all he needed. And now, unfortunately, though, more members of Silence, Emperador coming in to swarm upon Ophelia, where he is outnumbered. Best case scenario, it's a 2v4. Worst case, more like a 1v4. Depending on if Roa can get a positioning of Overwatch from that distance. If he comes in, Roa could just be giving up all chance of getting at least some placement points, but here he's going for it. He says, all for one and one for all on this one. Ophelia is still being swarmed upon, awaiting an inevitable push from Silence. And yep, it's gonna be a bomb of fire raining down on him, and that bush is burning, baby. That leaves Roa as the final hope, cooking up a molly of his or her own to try to get a little bit of revenge in the equation. Daga's taken a lot of burn damage, reduced down to about half health, but not enough to finish the deal. Oh, Emperador fire. Oh, look at Roa's health! Talk about a second chance at life. You couldn't even see his health in the health bar just a moment there. But Dagas for the finish. No health. Titled. Okay, well, you heard the shots. And if you're the Rough Riders, you gotta be tempted to come in and swarm in for that third party. But it does look like Danger's going to be waiting for some further assistance from his teammates, and that's probably the right move. So we're going to switch over to Zero Confidence, who had just the worst possible match that they could in round one, being eliminated in last place with 0 kills. Here, faring a little bit better. They got 1 kill on the board already. However, Krish has been eliminated, leaving it down to Somo, Maheen. Oh, just those two. Hanov has been taken out as well. Ahanov. So Maheen and Somo, the final two hopes here for Zero Confidence, with a low ground disadvantage against 007. Well, Brave and Excuse having at it in the distance. Let's have a look-see at that. Let's go over to Team Brave. At this point, they are down to Hacks and Banga, but keep in mind, they did just start off as only a 3-piece. All right, well, with that takedown on Matt, you'd think Hacks would be eager to go secure a thirst, but I don't think he's so easily fooled. I think he's not going to be presenting himself as any open opportunity to members of Excuse. He's a little more hesitant, going to make sure he secures some better loot here for the time being. Somo holding the high ground, and yep, Matt is thirsted after all. Something you never expect to see is a panda in a desert, but we have one, ladies and gentlemen. Members of 007, pretty dispersed here. I mean, they're not far away from one another, but they are a little bit spread out, given, you know, actually, I'm not really, I think I'm going to, for the first time in a long time, I think I'm going to publicly withdraw that statement. They are not dispersed at all. At least not P2 and Panda, or Bob. It's only one member who's further away. You know, at first I was thinking, you know, this is a Miramar map, and, you know, you gotta really zoom in to see it. But this is getting closer towards the end game. As we reach the concluding portions of Stage 3, we're definitely getting into that zoomed-in map territory. And we do have a moment of downtime, ladies and gentlemen, just due to the sheer size of this map. So we're going to go over the current format as it stands. We've got 20 teams competing. Of those 20 teams, only 4 teams are going to advance, because now we run 3 rounds of qualifiers versus the previous 4. So 12 qualified teams, as always, facing off against the 6 to 8 invited Tier 1 professional teams to face off for that $450 prize pool day after tomorrow, May 31st. All right, well, 007 gaining some ground here, getting closer and closer to the Rough Riders, but Rough Riders implementing a 3-1 split here. This could be interesting, but nice takedown on Danger by QZK of 007. And they are not going to waste an opportunity like this, not allowing any time to reset. They are going to do a quick push. Panda coming in, and it's QZ taking out main player as well. Coming in with that UMP ready and waiting, that CQC Close Quarter Combat Annihilator. Is it going to be a battle of utilities after all that? Come on, bro. Oh, here comes danger! Oh, Maheen hurts himself with the vehicle, jumping out of it too early, and that is a rough day for Zero Confidence. But Danger firing away AK-47, but turns his back to the opposition at the worst of times. Moose trying to provide overwatch, but taking awfully low in health, leaving Manny alone here in the battlefield. Manny taking a huge hit, but still a sliver of health, but oh, it's taken down ultimately. And that is going to put all the pressure onto Moose. Moose and Moose alone for the Rough Riders, with not a whole lot of likelihood of being able to knock out the remainder of 007 in time to revive. So I think he's making the right call by, well, withdraw that statement. I think he's making the wrong call. He is still trying to engage rather than relocate. And those shots are not just danger because of the Rough Riders, but also because of the other nearby threat, the Lycans. But Moose does get the takedown on QZK. If he tries to secure a thirst, he's as good as done, though. All right, well, RizGod going after aces in the distance. Let's catch eyes on... Well, no, still going off. Yeah, we are going to catch eyes. To heck with it. We're going to give Sentinels a little bit of time here. It's down to RizGod and Darklight. In this altercation with members of aces, Go-To holding the high ground, but they have P18 and Jat down. This is a little bit more even of a fight than I initially thought. And now it's a 2v1. Koku is the last hope up for the Team Aces. Cuckoo, pardon me. That UMP in hand, but not accounting for someone going prone and shooting under the vehicle. Oofta in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the wanted vigilantes down to Illusion, Anders, and Poppy Sour, but Anders and Poppy are the only two up at the moment. Poppy gonna get the vehicle ready while Anders tries to secure a risky revive. Maybe not as risky as we thought, as Criminale is putting the shots outward, but it's not really even close to hitting the mark. I think it was more about just keeping the pressure on the opposition and letting them know that you're still there, and not to try anything funny. All right, what about between members of 3SG and Brave? Brave, as we noted, reduced down to a two-piece, but only started off as a 3, so 2/3 of their starting base. But that's up against a full 4-piece of 3SG. We got Zendry coming in. I think, you know, what we'll do is catch eyes from the member of Brave, Mr. Hacks himself, who's awaiting at the top of the staircase. But, oh no! As he cooks up a nade, it's a nade thrown in at him, and hellfire raining down upon him, bringing Banga down to the last hope. Oh, and Banga had one shot, and one shot only to capitalize on the element of surprise, and it was wasted as he didn't get a single bullet on Alpha, just late reaction time, and that ultimately led to his downfall. Well, we got 3SGs now with another finish there, but they have got several kills to their name. But the problem with it is that they're likely to be gatekept by members of Criminalis. Wow, one of Vigilantes still having a rough go of it, dealing with multiple members. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, NA16 in a 2v1, I believe now, against Sentinels. Yeah, it's down to RizGod, and RizGod is out of there. No, he's not. He is not. RizGod very much in the equation until I caster cursed. Wow, that was a sneaky little move on his end. I like that. Well, I'm going to go right on back to members of Silence. Keep in mind, Silence looking in pretty peak form right now with 8 kills to their name, half of which go to Dacus. And they're, unfortunately for them, sandwiched in between a rock and a hard place. The rock is the one at Vigilantes. The hard place is the Lycans. And they are the deli meat of that peanut butter and trouble sandwich. All right. Emperador, 6X, UMP, a man after my own heart. I love that combo. Trying to get a takedown on 1v99, but look at all the utilities that 1v99 has at the ready. Just making it look like a wildfire happen there. Enshrouding himself in a sea of smoke. And that just goes to exemplify the importance of having those utilities come in-game, ladies and gentlemen. They could be the absolute difference maker between life and death when the geography is left to open space and compound cover is few and far between, especially on a map like Miramar. Those smokes can be the only thing giving you the cover you need to stay alive. All right, you are not going to like this again. I am going to try to get this key map. But I will switch off of this. Okay. Well, the silence, understandably hesitant here. You know, they're sandwiched, and any engagement with either team there could very easily cause a lot of problems and leave them vulnerable on their backside. Now, look at the overwatch that Battery and the remainder of NA16 have secured here. Absolute high ground and overwatch over the remainder of the playing field. This is huge. Now, the only problem I see here is that outside of the zone, there's still more members of 3SG creeping in from an even higher ground potentially, and gonna catch Battery 20p unawares. I think the likelihood of it is getting a little bit worse and worse in against his favor as we speak. Poppy Sour still holding position. Yeah, and I don't blame one of Vigilantes. Why would they really move? They've got the only compound cover remaining in this entire zone. So it makes sense that they're a little hesitant about giving that up. Look at this, 3SG, 5 kills to their name, 4 of them between the 3 remaining up. And ladies and gentlemen, we're down to 12 people spread across 5 teams as we reach the concluding portion of round 2 of 3. And look at the spread here. All right, Skur really relying on those smokes. But look, if Dreamer only knew what laid beneath him, I think it would be easy claps. Now, how does Skur not hear those shots from Dreamer and feel the pressure coming? All right, and Zendry goes down at the hands of Anders of one of Vigilantes, and one of Vigilantes still a 3-piece, 4 kills to their name. We got ourselves 10 people remaining. Anders very spread out from Illusion and weakened at this position. We're going to get eyes once again from this high ground. I just want to see what's going to happen. If Patrick can catch members of the Lycans off guard, it could be easy claps all around. Ooh, but Skur of 3SG is eliminated just like that. And ooh, Battery doesn't hit a single bullet that he shoots downwards. This high ground advantage is in full effect, though, because not only does he have this new zone out of pure luck, but even if he's knocked from beneath by one of Vigilantes, he's going to be immediately, almost immediately, out of the line of sight of one of Vigilantes, making it extremely difficult to secure a thirst before his inevitable revive. But the Lycans, oh, talk about a mistake. Hope laid out, ready and waiting just for the taking, presenting his head like a whack-a-mole, and Battery wastes no time. Oh boy. Oh boy, Anders is gonna go for it. He stays in the shadows because that's his only tell of what sort of line of sight members of NA16 have above him. And guys, we're down to our final 3 teams here, spread across 6 people. We got ourselves a 2v2v2. Oh, pardon me, spread across. Yeah, 3v2v1. What are numbers? I didn't get into PUBG deal, no numbers. But Poppy Sour holding position, Noob on the other end here, just trying to give a nice little preemptive boost, give himself every edge he can because he is the last Lycan left, but responsible for half of the team's kills. He's definitely been having a pretty decent game. And that zone is coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, anyone who knows anything about a red-eye zone knows the damage is boosted. The zone closing speed is boosted. Oh man, it's a battle of patience, ladies and gentlemen. Just do not know why it won't let me use those key buttons. All right. This is gonna get intense, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final calm before the storm for round 2. Oh, it's a finish on Noob just like that. We got ourselves a 2v2 NA16 versus one of Vigilantes, but look at this, ladies and gentlemen. WV does not have high ground here, but they got nades and battery taking so much damage from that one, but not enough for the thirst. But Poppy Sour finishes what Anders started. This team of wanted Vigilantes is a extremely well refined, extremely well practiced and synergized tier 1 monster of a team. Golly, that was impressive. And battery's still up and about because of that revive. That is the only real issue here, is that one of Vigilantes will not be able to secure a thirst on NA16 without utilities from this point. Not unless NA16 were to jump down, and I don't see that being a very likely possibility. Well, talk about frustration. One of Vigilantes have been playing borderline perfectly today. Now, that is with... Oh, you know what? I withdraw that statement. One of Vigilantes was actually finishing in 10th place in round 1, but they did so with 11 kills. I remember now. For a second there, I briefly thought that they had taken the chicken dinner for Aaron Gill, but that's not true. They did get a 10th place finish in round 1, but with 11 kills. And now, with this either first or second place finish, but with a bunch of kills on the board for him, it could be a little more advantageous. I think one of Vigilantes are starting to take it a little bit more seriously and want to make sure that they get that opportunity to advance to the $450 finals. Why would NA16 be wasting ammo here? You gotta admit, though, if you're one of Vigilantes, you're frustrated. NA16 is not gonna fight them. Oh, but here we have it. Battery 2 falls down. Dreamer coming down as well. And easy pickings for the likes of wanted Vigilantes. ladies and gentlemen, golly. I hear those shots and you can't blame one of Vigilantes. That was a frustrating little waiting game that they had to play along with there for a bit. But anyway you look at it, that's game over. And you've got to give it up to Poppy Sour, Anders, Fishy, and Illusion. They're going to be taking that gold medal first place finish for round 2 with 8 kills to their name. In A16, they give Battery and Topa some serious credit because they played it given the circumstances of their team situation, meaning that Mo and Dreamer were already gone, or Battery and I believe it was Topa, but essentially the case in point remains. They were a two-piece for a while, and they had to try to secure that placement, and they did that. And that's why they'll be taking that silver medal second place with 5 kills. Battery responsible for 80% of those. Third place belongs to the Lycans with 6 kills. Coming in fourth, it's going to be the crew in 3SG with 5. The Silence in fifth with, 8 kills, half of which go to Dagus. We got the Criminals in 6th with 1 kill from XYZ. Sentinel is going to be securing 7th place this time around, but with 5 kills. 4 of those 5 come from RizGod. 8th place going to Brave with 5 kills. 007 in 9th with 5. We got Team Aces in 10th with 1 kill from GoTo. The Rough Riders in 11th with 4. Zero Confidence going to be securing 12th, but with 1 kill. Ooh, one moment, ladies and gentlemen. Just double checking. Okay, yep. Securing 12th place, but with 1 kill. 13th going to X-Illusion with 2. 14th to the likes of Excuse with 3. All 3 of which came from Bernard, though. Not bad. 15th going to Bope with 5 kills, 4 of which came from Ophelia. Growing Stronger, having another rough one here. 16th place with only 1 kill from Action Sir. We got Rising Legends in 17th with 1 kill from Frags. Divine in 18th place with 4. 9 Cents in 19th with 0. And lastly, Nova Clan in 20th with 0. But ladies and gentlemen, you all thought I forgot, but I did not. It's that time. Here is your UC code. Go ahead and redeem this by clicking the link at the top of the feed, top of the chat feed. That will be the only place you can redeem it, and there's only 1 redeem per code. So 600 UC up for grabs if you can make it there in time. It's CJPQZDMZ4H5. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, we've seen our participants on the very first map ever of Erangel, and then the wide open arid desert of Miramar. But what's going to happen when we conclude things for the day in that lush, condensed forest? I am, of course, speaking of the tropical regions of Sandhawk, as we return for our third and final round of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in May tournament qualifiers for Group C, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunmen, Glacier Gaming, Crafton, and Lightspeed Studios. Stick around. We'll be back soon. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we back. Sorry about that format. We'll go over that in a little bit when we have the spare time. But welcome back to our third and our final round of the day for my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in May tournament qualifiers for Group C, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunman, Glacier Gaming, Crafted, and Lightspeed Studios. And we are going to be concluding the day with, you guessed it, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. Why is that not working there? I tried to switch up the key mapping, but yes, of course, the lush condensed forest of Sandhawk. Now, what do we need to say about a map like Sandhawk? Essentially the opposite of our last match, which was Miramar, our largest map. This is going to be our smallest map that we're going to be working with here. Now, technically, yeah, it's not the smallest map in the game. We got Livik, Karakin, and the newest map, Erangel. Or, God, Karakin and Noosa. Goodness gracious, not Erangel. They were all smaller, but we haven't really been messing with those too much in the esports scene. So this is going to be the smallest map that we do have, meaning that the odds of two teams landing next to each other just going to be a little bit slimmer, or just a little bit higher. Pardon me. I'm trying to multitask here, and as you can see, it's just going great. But one thing you got to be aware, ladies and gentlemen, is that on a map like Sandhawk that is this lush and condensed, you're going to have to be alert of your very close surroundings because you could have enemies anywhere. The odds of someone being prone in the grass is high. You have pretty much all the geographical cover afforded to you that you could hope for. But let's go ahead and get into it because it looks like we already have some potential action on the board. Let me get that format off of the screen. And yeah, it does look like Boot Camp is actually getting a lot of loving. We're going to go switch in there and get eyes on X-Illusion as they face off against the opposition in 007. We got W2S coming inward, but he is a little bit further out. We see OZK taken down at the hands of Thirst with that barrel M762. I do realize what I've done here. Sorry about that. But we are back. We are good to go. I don't really think I'm going to be able to get that key binding down quite like I had it. All right, Thirst trying to hold position here and hold off the inevitable threat of multiple 007 members. Luckily, Glitch has come to join the party. What else? Yeah, we got Excuse out in the outer quadrants nearby Painan. Very close in proximity to Sentinels. But this, as we all know to be the story of Painan, could result in a bit of a standoff. A battle of patience. We got Zero Confidence here in the mix with the criminals. Oh, but Thirst does get the thirst on UZK, living up to his name. All right, Krish, the first eliminated of the last two matches, up against multiple members of criminals. Readily equipped, however, with a QBZ UMP combo, level 1 armor, and not the awareness that he needed, unfortunately. We saw the opposition there ready and waiting for him, but he did not, and this is... You gotta have 20/20 vision. There's no time to overlook anything here. Dagus getting the takedown on Moose in the distance as Silence and the Rough Riders have at it with one another. We're gonna switch over to main player of Rough Riders as he tries to close in and assist Manny. But Manny, holding off the threat so far, gonna try to relocate a little. Main player is now the focal point for Silence. Taking minimal damage, all things considered. And Caster Cursed, right out of the equation. Well, what else is happening on the playing field? Lots of love in here towards the center of Boot Camp. We also see Action Sir of members of Growing Stronger, and he has got members of Team Aces, 3 of them, potentially even 4, about to swarm on him if he's not careful. Cuckoo coming up from the side, but doing a somewhat risky move, in my opinion, utilizing a vehicle on Sandhawk. I feel like 5 years into this game, we all know the risks you're taking when you are using a vehicle on a map as small as this. Just to get a better idea of what sort of space is between Cuckoo and the rest of Team Ace's with Action Sir of growing stronger. Okay, a little bit of space. 007 having a tough go of it. And I think the second I tried to switch out to 007, yep, they were eliminated. Let's look at this fight here between Odison of growing stronger as he creeps in on Team Ace's. Creep in is a bit of an exaggeration because he did not have any element of surprise on that buggy. Still securing the takedown though. But, Revenge dished out quickly onto him, leaving Hunter as the final... Hunter and Action Sir as the final hopes. However, Hunter has been hunted and Caster cursed all at once, leaving Action Sir as the final hope for the team. Growing Stronger has had a very rough day today in these qualifiers. But, you know what is more important to me? The fact that they stuck it out and played all 3 matches. I would much, much rather have a team that doesn't do well, but participates in all the matches, than a tier 1 pro org that'll leave the second things get missed. But Action, putting up his final stand there, putting up as good of a fight as you could really hope for, but it's just not going to be good enough. And that's going to put Aces up to 4 kills. But look here, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Brave living up to their name, and boy, you gotta be brave to close in on a 3-way fight here, and that's exactly what this is. Brave versus members of Rising Legend and the Lycans. However, Jinx being taken down. Luckily, there's Banga, Brave, and Hacks to try to secure some revive. But, here comes the threat of the Rising Legends. One of the Legends has been taken down, but Banga gonna pull a risky revive on Brave. All the while, that's going to leave Hacks in charge of Overwatch and cover fire, and he is already below half health here. This is going to be a tough one. All right, Bernard is down. Nova facing off against this Excuse in the distance, having a rough go of it. This is the final stand potentially here for Brave because there's multiple teams. However, the Lycans, whoever is in there from the Lycans, is swimming. Catch eyes from Brave, Jinx. This is actually an interesting positioning here. It could be advantageous, depends. Also could be vulnerable for anyone across the waterway with a good scope. But yeah, this is going to start getting a little intense here. But while we are waiting on that, we'll go check out this fight between Excuse and members of Nova Clan. Now, Nova Clan hanging in there by a... this is actually Divine versus Excuse. And Divine 4 taken down. Yasu's out of the equation. Shush and Draco remain. This is going to be a tough one. And yeah, Core quickly thirsted. Bernard and Kai looking in full form here. And with that high ground, just wreck onto Draco, leaving Shush as the silent final hope here. I just realized there's a team called Silence when I said that, but I meant Shush, like as in a pun. My bad. All right. Well, let's go see what's happening elsewhere on the playing. No time to waste as Bernard fires downhill and just gets a beautiful distance takedown and immediate insta-thirst there. What else? I guess we got to go back to this standoff here, this little 3-way love triangle that's forming between Brave, the Lycans, and members of Rising Legend. It's just, there is space between. 9 Cents really getting worked on here from a distance. One of Vigilantes going off in the distance, and usually they can be counted on for pretty good action. So let's just have a quick look-see. Whatever was going on, Poppy Sour and the rest of the gang are out of immediate threats. So, we'll go back to Brave. All right, well, we're hearing shots off in the distance. It sounds like it's from 9 Cents, but I just don't know who they're firing on. I mean, it would have to be one of Vigilantes or Brave and Lycans, but that wouldn't be a smart fire. I don't think they did that. Ooh, someone from Brave is living up to the name here, and yeah, it's going to be Jinx, or J4XX. I thought he or she was getting a little closer in proximity to the opposition in the Lycans, but the Lycans, realistically, kind of pulling a sneaky little water snake move here. Just a water moccasin, laying low, just so we can get an idea of what's happening. We got a sneaky little Michael Phelps holding position underwater. Well, you do you. Alright, what to tune into? Little bit of time. As to be expected, we're going to go over the regular spiel here, as we do when we have downtime. So we got 20 teams competing. Of those 20 teams, 4 will actually advance, because we run 3 rounds of qualifiers now rather than 4. So 12 qualified teams, as always, facing off against the 6 to 8 invited Tier 1 Pro teams, where they're going to face off day after tomorrow for that $450 prize pool. This is a whole lot of nothing going on here, which is kind of surprising to see that the biggest spurt of downtime that we had was on the least likely map. But no time to waste here. Aces having at it with members of Criminals. It's going to be a battle of utilities. Both teams trying to make it rain hellfire on the other and get that easy knock and get a quick takedown without presenting themselves to the opposition. An easy free knock to advance upon is the goal. Ooh, PX-18 with a molly that's going to fall a little short of the mark. Oh, no, it doesn't. It gets inside the house, but it still doesn't hit the enemy. All right. What is happening here? Hope is just holding position. This is a 3-1 split. I get what's happening here. He's maybe even going AFK or something, but trying to ensure that if his teammates are eliminated, he could be the saving grace. That last little trick in the pocket to give them the placement points that they may need to advance. Exillusion having at it in the distance. We're going to go check in on them. It's Glitch, Beast, Thirst, and W2S. But oh boy, Glitch is a ways away from his teammates. Moving Thirst, Beast, and W2 to face all the consequences. Beast going away. Going to try to head and swim into zone. It's going to be a tough one. But they have to cut their losses as W2S is eliminated. But you know, he wasn't responsible for any of the kills, so all their scorers are still alive. And it looks like Glitch keeping the pressure out in the dead zone on members of Excuse, who are trying to find a way to rotate northbound into zone, leaving the impression they might be getting gate kept, even though it may not be entirely accurate. Okay, what to tune into? Okay, I'm thinking, yeah, why not go have a look-see at Team Aces? But it is a bit of a battle of patience between these two teams, any way you look at it. It looks like Height and the rest of Nine Cents having a distance battle with the last, oh, pardon me, not the last, with a member of Brave on the other side of the bridge. It's Hacks in a 3-1 or a 2-1-1 split with his team. Seems like the Criminalis and Aces might face off at any moment here. Boy, Hope is really risking it here. Oh, that's Bope firing off in the distance. Let's catch eyes on the Bope crew. 1 kill to their name, going to Nitro, just facing an onslaught of bullets. One of Vigilantes off in the distance as well. Seems like they might even be in a fight of their own. Yes, they are. We're going to go catch eyes. It's Fishy and Illusion now remaining as Poppy Sour is taken down in the distance. Here we see Fishy, 4 at the ready, putting out that full spray, and he does secure a beautiful knock on Battery there. Oh, gosh. North America's 16 Dreamer. Well, he had a perfect line of sight there on Fishy, and he went and did some fishing of his own. Illusion just trying to make it into zone, but the vehicle explosion says no, and that is going to be the Lycans shutting it down for him. Now look at this Excuse with an extremely dangerous boat advancement into zone. Got to boat right on over members of 3SG, but it's Brave saying, hey, we'll take those easy vehicle explosion kills. Thank you for them. Guys, we're down to 7 teams spread across 23 people. We got Brave up here in the mix with 3SG. 3SG, I withdraw my previous statement earlier. I thought that was all of them, but nope, they still have Strip and Alf remaining. Gentry is knocked, and oop, Strip got Caster Curse. That's going to leave Alf as the last hope for the team, the final water snake. But off in the distance, 9 cents trying to get some eyes on Bope. We got Roa pulling a very risky cross-water Michael Phelps long-distance freestyle swim. And Zendry is out. Alf, the final hope, just trying to lay low here, but I don't see it working out too much in his favor. Look at this. Hope did make it to the edge of the bridge, trying to provide a little watch here as his teammate Moon comes in, but Moon knows that Alf is right there in the water next to him. Easy kill steal for Hope. He says thank you for it. Oh boy, things are looking rough. Ah, come on. Sorry, guys. Oh, he's still up. Moon's been down, but Hope is going to go for a risky revive. They did some... It looks like they secured the retaliatory knock. Potentially even another first. I'll have to double check on that. But Snipe is ironically sniped out of there with an M4. So many things of what I just said could be analyzed. But Noob coming closer to the Lycans, really trying to catch him off guard and has a good opportunity to do so. But an enemy just presented themselves, rained down from the heavens, already knocked, saying, here, noob, take the easy kill. Take another one. And then get on out. All right. We got 4 teams remaining. Ooh. Alrighty. So, it's down to Brave, Team Aces, and Bope Esports. The 3 remaining teams spread across 8 people. Things could get interesting, especially for the likes of Cuckoo. But, you know, if Cuckoo fires... if Bope fires, it could give a little bit too much of their location away to members of Brave. We might even have that side angle. Ooh, Ophelia wrecked apart by Cuckoo right there and then, but needs to get back into positioning because no time to celebrate in the Dead Month tournament. If you saw that TikTok post, then you know why. All right. 5 people remain. A 3v2. Team Aces versus Team Brave. Let's get it on. Oh, man. A battle of patience. And if you're Team Brave, you know why you got to lay low. The numbers aren't in your favor, but they don't have the luxury of time in their favor here. They are outside of zone, unlike the advantage holders in Team Aces, who also have the only afforded compound cover, which is a tiny shack. I'm not even going to call that an advantage necessarily. Oh, PX18 taken out. Junie taken out, and all the odds have just completely flipped. It's now a 2v1, and the match ended because the zone. No way. Yo, I feel all the frustration for Team Brave, ladies and gentlemen. You have to. I mean, they put up in the final 10 seconds of that match, they completely turned the tides and went from a 2v3 to a 2v1 in their favor, and then taken out. That last little sliver of health was picked away by the blue zone. I don't care who you are, no one has a higher KD in that blue zone. That thing is a monster. But Team Aces, well earned. They're going to be taking first place. And any way you look at it, ladies and gentlemen, that's got to be game over. Team Aces, first place with 8 kills to their name. Team Brave, boy, what a performance here in round 3. Taking that silver medal finish, but with 13 kills to their name. We got PUBGMVIP in third, and they'll be taking that with 4. The Lycans in fourth with 3. 9 Cents securing 5th place with 4. The Criminals going to be taking 6th place with 5 kills between KZ and 1v99. We got 3SG in 7th with 3 kills. Coming in 8th, it's going to be the crew in NA16 with 2 kills. 1 from Mo, 1 from Dreamer. We got Excuse in 9th, and that's going to be with, 11 kills. So what I said for Wanted Vigilantes in round 1, being eliminated kind of in that middle bracket, but putting up a monster number of kills there. Pretty good. Wanted Vigilantes, once again, another 10th place finish here. So a mediocre first match because I believe they finished 10th or 11th, but did so with 11 kills. So it was like a 50-50 bag. Then round 2 faring pretty darn well. Then once again, round 3 back to 10th place, and with only 4 kills, I'd be pretty surprised if that was enough to advance to the finals, but we'll see. That's 4 kills to them. We got Exelution in 11th place, and they're going to be taking that with 8 kills. We've got the Rising Legends grabbing 12th, but with 0 kills to speak of. And keeping up that trend, Divine in 13th, also with 0. We got Team Silence in 14th with 4 kills, all going to Dagus. The Nova Clan in 15th, but with 0 as a 3-piece. The Rough Riders in 16th with 1 kill from Danger. Growing stronger, just an all-around rough day. And you know what? What stands out to me, as I said in that last match, what stands out to me isn't just, that they had a tough time today. What stands out more than that is that they came back and participated either way. They participated even though they knew that there was no shot at advancing after that second match. They came back for the round 3 and finished what they started. And that speaks more miles to me than however you place in my tournament. So 0 confidence, same can be said for them. They also had a very, very rough day, but stuck it out. And that's why I'm more than happy if we ever need a last-minute sub and they volunteer, yeah, I'll absolutely let them get that priority over another team because I know that they're reliable and good sports and supporting the event. We got the Sentinels in 19th. Surprisingly, Sentinels having a much rougher time than they did last month. 0 kills to their name. And last place going to 007. Also, another surprising turnout. 007 was advanced in the previous 2 months to the finals as well, and just not seeing it today. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is the last of the qualifiers for this month. Now it's going to see who's out of these 20 teams, which 4 are actually going to advance to the finals to join the other 2 groups of qualified advancers to face those 6 to 8 tier 1 teams the day after tomorrow for that $400 first place prize and $50 top frag prize. Well, you can bet your bottom dollar I will have that info and graphic ready for you tomorrow or the day after early in the day. But regardless, I hope against hope that I can count on you guys to be here on my YouTube for the $450 Dead in May finals. I promise you the roster of T1s that I'm bringing this month is gonna be a monster lineup. And it's gonna be very, very entertaining, well worth the time and well worth the watch. So please be aware, though, if you are watching this on Twitch right now, YouTube is where I'm trying to promote the event. And so for that reason, the finals are going to have the second half exclusively on YouTube and potentially the last 3 matches just to kind of get those Twitch users to migrate over to the YouTube, at least for this event. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this. I don't want to waste more of your time. I'm gonna be disconnecting and then maybe taking the dog out, coming back for some personal gameplay. So if you guys want to get some games in with a potato and do potato things, holla at your boy. Until next time, I'll be seeing you guys at the finals that are this Wednesday, the May 31st. 9 o'clock p.m. EST is the start time, exclusively on the YouTube for the last two matches. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is the second longest running non-affiliated PUBG Mobile tournament in North America. And we will be coming back next month for the 29th installment, Dead in June, where anybody is welcome to register in my Discord for a shot at advancing. You can compete in the qualifiers. Anybody can. As long as you're above the age of 18, because I don't pay out under 18s. But no more real stuff to say here. I think I'm just kind of rambling at this point. So, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you day after tomorrow. I hope you all have a great night. Have fun, be safe, and be kind to one another. GG's.